welcome. So the first thing is that I'm going to open the bot folder after extracting it. So I will go ahead and explain the reason for these folders and the purpose of these folders. But for now, let's just open the settings file from the list of files we have in the folder. So once you open the settings file, this is what you're going to see. And the settings has a description in this section that tells you what the setting is all about. So I am going to explain the settings step by step, and sometime I will skipping some and explain later in another video based on the application of that settings. But without has been said, okay, so let's start with this column, this first column, and then the second column and the last column. So now what you're actually seeing here is the first row here, which is row number 1, has a bot name, or not actually the bot name, okay, of course. So now you can see this column, this row number 2 has a column. On this first column has settings name, which explains which is the name of the settings, what the setting is all about, or what it is called. And the input is where you input the settings parameters, or you select it. Some of the settings will be selectable and some will be to input, and this is the description. So the row that you're seeing with blue color that only have is that blue? Yeah. So that only has this name. It's all about is the description of the settings. So we can see we have arbitrage settings, we have exchange settings, as well as okay, we have pair settings, we have blockchain settings, as well as your private settings. So that is the different categories of settings that we have here. So this first settings from arbitrage settings is automatic flash loan amounts. And whenever you are seeing this question mark, it means that that option is selectable, is not to input. So it's either you select true or false, yes or no, or some random parameters. So that's why we are having question mark here. Sometimes you will see a dollar sign. It means the value is input, and the input value is in dollar. It's in dollar value, yeah. It's in dollar amount, yeah. Equivalent, yeah. Not equivalent, in dollar amount. So this is selectable. And once you see percentage sign like this, it means that the value is in percentage. The input value you are going to input is in percentage. So that is all about the symbols that you are seeing here. And whenever there is no, okay, sometime there's no there's no, oh, okay, sometimes there's no question mark like as of this one. So it's just selectable, and this is input. I think I could have add question mark here because here is selectable, yeah. So you can go ahead and add question mark here. Okay, but nothing much about it. But the most important thing is that you are not allowed to modify these formats, the formats of these Excel sheets. If you modify the formats or modify any of the namings, it will not work, especially on the inputs. You can modify the naming on the first column or the last column, which is the description column, and the settings name column, but the inputs should not be modified. That's what I mean is you are not allowed to modify the constant values like these selectable values. It is case sensitive how the bot uses it. So if you modify or add any letters to it, it will make your bot to malfunction, and that is it. So for inputs, you just have to input the values, Then for selectable, you just have to select do not modify, neither modifying the format. If you wonder how my color is like this, you can actually change the color. It's because I decided to leave the color this way. So that's why the color is a little bit dark, because I do love dark mode. Okay, so automatic flash loan amounts is a selectable function, and what it means is, as the description says, do you want your bot to decide the trade volume based on the price impact you choose? So if you want your bot to automatically calculate the trade volume, which is the amount it is going to borrow from lenders like PancakeSwap or Equalizer Finance, because the bot actually uses two lenders. I will explain more on that. So you can set it to yes. And if you are setting it to yes, you are going to set the price impact. So if you want your bot to automatically calculate the trading volume, which is the amount of coins it will start to trade with based on the price impact, so you will say calculate trading volume based on the price impact I am setting here. So in this case, the price impact is 0.1%. So it means your trading volume, your trading position that you are going to trade can only impact the price of the triangular pairs, because it calculates the liquidity of it uses the lowest liquidity of the triangular pairs of the pairs that is going to trade to calculate for the starting amount, which is the trade volume. So it's going to start with a trading volume, which is the starting volume, trading volume of the value that can only impact not more than 0.1%. That's why you are seeing here. So if you increase the price impact, the volume it will start to trade with will increase. For example, if price impact was 0.1 in this case, and the starting volume was maybe 500 USD as the starting volume in that token. So if you increase the price impact to 0.2, the starting volume will then increase automatically to from 500 to 1000 based on the liquidity in that pair that it is going to trade. So you can always set the price impacts, the maximum price impacts here. It is recommended not to go beyond 0.2% because of slippage, and you can also set the flash loan amounts if you turn off this automatic flash loan amounts. So if I don't want my bot to automatically calculate the starting amount, I will have to turn this to no, and I will specify the starting amount in USD value. That's what it means. So in this case, bot will start in any coins that is trading, is going to start with $1,000 worth of the coin. You can set to start with 200. You can set to start with any amount, but always remember the price impact. So that is it for the automatic flash loan amount and automatic flash loan amount, as well as flash loan amount in USD. So that is how it works. And cross exchange is where you select if you want to arbitrage cross exchange. So you can see only exchange one. If you select only exchange one, it means you are going to structure your triangular pairs to trade only in exchange one. For example, we have exchange 1, exchange 2, and exchange 3. Exchange 1 might be PancakeSwap, exchange 2 might be ApeSwap, and exchange 3 might be BuySwap. So if you only want to trade in exchange 1, it can be any exchange, BuySwap, if based on the exchange you selected in exchange 1. I'm going to explain more on that later on. So if you only want your bot to trade in, because it's a triangular bot that swap 3 tokens. So if you only want it to trade in exchange 1, which is going to be the exchange you select in the exchange category settings as exchange 1, you have to select it to yes. Sorry, you have to select it to only exchange 1. But if you want it to trade in all, that is cross exchange, in all the 3 exchanges that you specify in the settings as exchange settings, then just leave it to yes, and it will trade cross exchange. So for arbitrage threshold, we explain max price impacts. So for arbitrage threshold, this is the minimum arbitrage profits in percentage that you want your bot to execute. For example, You are saying if the arbitrage